Impact segment tonight. As we reported last night, there is concern in Washington over Nancy Pelosi's travel on military jets. However, ABC News is reporting that most of the trips the speaker has taken are legitimate. For us, the problem is that her office doesn't seem to know how many trips she took and exactly where she went. For example, she recently traveled to Europe. We asked the speaker's office today to send us an itinerary. They refused. Question: will this story blow back on President Obama? With us now, the purveyor of DickMorris.com.
And inventor.
A very fine political website, Mr. Morris. Blowback potential here?
No, I don't think people care much about it. I, however, do care about it, and I believe she should not be permitted to take military aircraft. The idea that she's third in line to succession and therefore she needs a military aircraft is ludicrous. And the only reason that they did it for Hastert was that Hastert wanted it and Bush signed off on it.
Okay, but the fact that Hastert got it and Obama would have to take it away from her, and Obama's not going to do that. But you say you don't think most people care. I got to tell you, boy, last night we did a huge rating. The mailbox overflowed. People in this time, when they are suffering, don't want to see an imperious, which means somebody who feels that they're entitled to grandiosity in the halls of power. They don't want it.
And look, we have a $1.75 trillion deficit. That's 15% of our economy. The worst that ever happened with Japan was 10%. This is unbelievable. The worst of the Clinton years, when everybody was going crazy over the deficit, was 5.5%. Now it's going to be 15%. Why should the speaker have military aircraft? Why can't she just fly first class in a commercial plane?
It's because she is super busy. She's got to get in and out of San Francisco quickly. Look, I don't begrudge her the plane, I got to tell you.
But charter aircraft.
I'll tell you what I'm outraged
You could reimburse her for charters.
Here.
That's an argument on scheduling.
All right.
But
charter, Air Force,
like
charter probably more.
Oh, charter's much less than military.
Yeah, is it?
Much less.
But here's what really gets me angry, and I think the vulnerability for the president lies in this area. We called up Nancy Pelosi's office and said, can you please tell us exactly the flights, where you went in Europe, how many people went, and they just basically will not do it. Now, I paid for that trip. Okay? So that's not only a matter of inconvenience and a debate about what she should have access to. That's arrogance with a capital A.
And Judicial Watch, which, by the way, is a nonpartisan group. They went after Bush as hard as Clinton and now going after Obama. Had to do a Freedom of Information request. The Defense Department wouldn't give them the information without a formal, almost lawsuit.
All right. I don't think the Bush administration wanted this stuff out either. To be fair, I don't think any of these people in Washington want to tell us anything they do. Cheney didn't want to tell us anything he did. Okay.
Well, we don't take it personally. Cheney didn't want to tell anybody anything.
No, but that's wrong. We're paying Cheney. Okay?
The president we got.
Right.
And when you come to the reality, the real conclusion, it is terrifying that we're dealing with a president who I believe does not care what happens to the markets, and only a little bit cares what happens to the economy.
But then he's not going to get reelected.
I don't think he cares.
Oh, I disagree with you. I think he really cares.
I think what he wants to do is to leave his mark on the government and the economy by moving it to the left.
All right.
And if within that context he can get reelected, great. But if not, we finally have a president who's going to put principle above politics, but it's the wrong principle.
All right, Dick Morris, everybody. Directly ahead, ABC News anchor John Stossel angry over